Hello, so today is going to be a HECARIM reroll guide, or HECARIM reroll, just explaining it. I think HECARIM reroll is really strong. It was strong in the last patch as well. This was a game that I played on stream today. It was actually the first game that I played within the last week or two that I took a week or two off. I think it was closer to a week actually. So it's going to be a little bit rusty. There will be lots of mistakes in this video, but I think that the guide portion of me explaining what the comp is and how strong it is will still hold true and will still be good. Just acknowledge that, I might miss a couple units in shop, I might not level at the right intervals, things like that, just from being a little bit rusty. But without much further ado, from the start, I wasn't really sure what I was going to play. I kind of decided that maybe I should just play towards an RE reroll line. I started with an RE and I wanted to try out the new RE, and that's kind of where everything starts to go wrong, and it's a little bit of a salvaged game later in the game. But the idea here is that I'm just starting the game and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I can play around RE reroll. I hit the polymorph, so I decide maybe I should just try and hit a random 2-star and see if I play around that instead. So I bought the poppy. I shouldn't have bought the poppy. I just completely fumbled the whole early game. Basically what I want to do is I want to buy any 1 cost, then I want to level them up for gold purposes because of the polymorph, and then I wanted to play the other units that would then fit into my board really nicely. But instead, I changed my Poppy into a random Kog'Maw, and there's other Kog'Maw players, and I don't have Ari, and I took Stars Are Born, so it's already a little bit of a rocky start. We won't really focus too much on stage 2, just know that I'm going to get bailed out a little bit later because I'm going to hit Unleash the Beast. So what I want to just talk about is HECARIM in general. So HECARIM, I don't know if he got overall buffed or overall nerfed. It's a little bit weird. HECARIM's a little bit more feast or famine now. So I'm going to go through the stats, I'm going to go through the stuff. Also, make sure if you like my content to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out as a small creator, especially if you just look at it even once or twice. But something that you should always know, Unleash the Beast, I'll put it into the stats. Stats are a little bit slow, maybe they're broken. Oh, they're broken for the new patch, so we'll just look at the previous patch, okay? So HECARIM, Unleash the Beast, you'll see that averages very well. If you look at Unleash the Beast is basically you get a Starex. This is going to come a little bit later in the video, so I'm doing the tutorial now just to make it on topic. But Unleash the Beast is usually really strong. It was the go-to for warriors, and you usually played it with warriors, you played with Nyla Akali. If you look at the units now, you'll see that Akali is still really good with Unleash the Beast, but units like Fiora aren't that great. Units like Rakan, Zillion, Nasus, these aren't the boards that you usually play. If you look at the units that you normally play, you'll see that it's mostly the multi-strikers, right? It's Arcana units, 5-cost units, and then after that, you have Kassadin, you have Kalista, you have HECARIM. What happened is, at one point during the last patch, when they nerfed warriors and they nerfed Nyla and they nerfed Akali a little bit, it turned out that Unleash the Beast is now the go-to augment if you have a HECARIM. And playing HECARIM around it, if you haven't seen it, you might have seen it in some of your lobbies. If you haven't seen it yet, be prepared, because when people catch on and it starts to become a very forcing comp, people just play HECARIM as soon as you see Unleash the Beast, it will be a monster. HECARIM 3 with Unleash the Beast is one of the most disgusting things ever. It is so fucking strong. It deletes the whole board, and it's so incredibly difficult to deal with. I would have liked to show you, I can show you the current stats, right? You'll see that right now, obviously, there are very few games played. The games are much fewer because it is a new patch day. Today is the new patch, so I'm showing you the stats on the new patch. HECARIM got reworked. That's why I want to show it to you. I don't know if HECARIM got overall buffed or overall nerfed, but basically HECARIM got reworked that it's a buff if he kills a unit. So now HECARIM is reworked that once he's very feast or famine. If I actually go on the unit themselves, so for example here, just so you can read it and acknowledge, so HECARIM got changed a little bit. You'll see that his passive now is that on takedown, it empowers his next attack, and then he'll charge to that unit instead of just the way he was before. They just did charging around, but now he's kind of very feast or famine, and then with his active trait also deals additional damage to adjacent enemies. He makes very good use of Starex as well as Unleash the Beast in terms of giving that extra juice when you drop below a certain threshold, as well as giving that tankiness stat. HECARIM, because he hits a lot of units around him without damage reduction, you can also make it so that he's a solo front line, or part of the front line that just absolutely deletes units. Now, why wouldn't you play HECARIM reroll, right? It sounds really broken, Fenrir. Why you talking about whatever? Something that happened last patch is that I tried many times to play around HECARIM reroll. The problem is that HECARIM is fucking hard to play because Hecarim is like a trait bot. If you read his traits, he's Arcana, Bastion, and Multi-Striker. Many times, if you're playing any sort of Callista board or any sort of Multi-Striker board, you want to play Hecarim. Hecarim easily fits in as a Bastion. On a lot of boards, he's also a +1 because of Arcana. Because Hecarim's a 3 trait, it's very hard to hit this unit. You have to be relatively uncontested, or you have to have a really, really strong spot for it. So I wouldn't suggest Hecarim reroll unless you have something like Unleash the Beast, where your 2-star or 1-star Hecarim will be very strong in your mid game, because it's going to be very, very hard to upgrade this guy. What happened to me a lot of times is I would end up going 5th just because I either wouldn't be able to find the Hecarim 3, or in my rolling I would eventually just lose out and not be able to cap out as high because I spent so much extra gold rolling that I didn't get into a good spot. And in terms of the board that you're playing, you're just playing vertical multi-striker with it. Obviously, if you're playing around Hecarim, it's a little bit weird. You want to play 7 multi always, and then usually you're just fitting in Shen as your Bastion and Pyro unit with the Akali. If you have a Multi-Striker +1, then you can stabilize your board a little bit better. And normally you're going for Hecarim 3. It's also not a bad idea to go for 3-star everybody else, and you can just roll on level 7 for everybody. But in a lot of cases, it's a little bit difficult. And then when you cap out your board, because Hecarim is Arcana, you literally just level to play Vertical Arcana, the same way you would play Multi-Striker, right? The only problem is that sometimes it's a little bit difficult because obviously, like, there's a Multi-Striker board where you reroll Ashe and Jax that is very strong. Because Hecarim's a 3 cause, you usually want to roll either on level 6 or level 7 in order to hit the Hecarim 3. I would suggest rolling on level 7, and then you just play around Callista dual carry. I would hold on to Ashes and Jaxes. Maybe you hit them naturally. Maybe you find an Ashe 3, Jax 3 that can cap out your board, or maybe you hit a Kassadin 3 or an Akali 3. But I would suggest rolling on level 7 and then playing around the Callista with the Hecarim. I think it just works out a little bit better because you're going to need a lot of gold to hit this Hecarim. And then what your itemization for the Hecarim is usually going to be is it's going to be Sterix, and some sort of healing, usually BT. And this is specifically for Unleash the Beast, by the way. I don't know, I wouldn't recommend playing this way if you're not Unleash the Beast. If you're not Unleash the Beast and you have a multi-striker spot, I would typically suggest to play around the Ashe and the Jax. That line is a lot more reliable as well as a lot stronger. This line is a little bit more difficult, and as long as if you have the stabilization point, then I would play around it. So that's like the little like board strength thing. We'll go back to this board. It was starting with the support item, so I took the gem because I think that was my best option at the time. I think I could have taken like a Knight's Vow instead. But I started with the game with a Hecarim. I was thinking originally I'm going to play Ahri reroll. I'm kind of down to like not play Ahri reroll because she seemed really fucking bad, especially when I looked at the stats in the middle of this game. I don't know if she's bugged. I don't know if her rework just didn't work out. I thought it would be really strong. Turns out it isn't. But anyways, I took this Stars Are Born. I'm going to try and figure out like what I'm going to do around this because I'm basically just losing all the fights and I'm in a pretty bad spot in this game in particular. But we will see. I need to just get my inking working. 1 second. But basically, I made this whole tutorial talking about Unleash the Beast. I'm going to hit it right here. So I'm going to pivot my board into just primary Hecarim because I already have 1 copy of Hecarim. A lot of times with the 3 cost, 1 copy is good. I did get a 2nd copy at one point. I apologize. Now I have 2 copies. So my Hecarim spot's really good because it's not going to take me that much gold to upgrade to a Hecarim 2. And Hecarim 2 with Unleash the Beast will be stable. Now this is something, like I said, it did exist in the previous patch, by the way. Unleash the Beast Hecarim has been a monster in stats and in these patches. So now that Hecarim got reworked into like this Feast or Famine type a little bit more and does like so much extra damage, this Hecarim as a main carry is probably going to be really strong, I expect, in this patch. So I'm glad that I was able to get it. Obviously, I made Shojin early. This was a bit of a shaky start. I probably shouldn't have taken Stars Are Born as well. I could have maybe played towards Hecarim multi-strikers. I think the only thing with me is that there's another guy rerolling multi-strikers, so that's why I didn't want to lean towards Hecarim. Golden Quest is ass now, never take it. But I hit Unleash the Beast, and I'm confident that even as a Hecarim 1, this Unleash the Beast will be strong enough to stabilize for my board for a while. I'm going to roll a little bit on level 6, though. The reason I'm rolling on level 6 is because I want to get in 5 multi-striker just to have a stable mid-game. I can keep playing the Ahri, though, at least until I hit 5 multi-striker, because the Arcana for Hecarim gives durability as well as attack damage, which are both really good for Hecarim. And basically, I'm just going to be rocking just Hecarim primary for much of this time. I think I can make really good items here. I think I'm just like a little bit... How do I phrase it? I should make some more items. This is just because I'm a little bit lost. Typically, a really good item to make right now would be Last Whisper. I'm going to be first pick on Carousel anyway, so I should be able to get a bow to make a Gwinsu for a Callista or even the Ashe. But as you can see, this Hecarim is just going to delete the whole board. This is a Hecarim 1, by the way. I want you to watch out for this Hecarim. You'll see that the attack damage that you get from Unleash the Beast, as well as the combination of his new ability, he's just going to be running around killing everybody. Straight up, broken shit. It's fucking strong as shit, right? It was strong last patch as well. I think it's even stronger now. But obviously this comp, let me acknowledge once again, Unleash the Beast, a very, very big factor here. If you don't have Unleash the Beast, I think you can still play around Hecarim carry. I'm not saying that you can't. You definitely can. But a lot of the strength of me being able to pivot into this comp from the spot that I was in already is because of Unleash the Beast. I just want to make that very clear. Now, in terms of my items, I should probably always make a Last Whisper here. I'm not sure if it's good to Last Whisper the Hecarim. I think the problem is that I want to see the items on Carousel. Ideally, you put double Sterix on the Hecarim, because with Unleash the Beast and the 2 Sterix, then he's actually going to be one-shotting everybody. So it's going to be very, very strong. So I'm kind of just delaying my game plan a little bit, because I want to see if I make double Sterix. Last Whisper is really good, but then it's hard to deal with the rest of my components. Obviously, you can look at the components and you could say you can make Morello, Last Whisper, that does your anti-heal and your Shred Sunder, so you're good to go. You just get those 2 things going and you're fine. But I'm trying to greed a little bit because I want to try and convert this into like a really, really strong top 4. I feel like I have a good opportunity to do that. So here, I'm actually just going to take Sword on Carousel, just complete the Hecarim items, because I know that even as a Hecarim 1, he's going to win me enough rounds to give my HP, to make it so that I can save enough HP to guarantee a top 4, as opposed to just slamming the other items. I can even go without Shred for a little bit of time. I can worry about that a little bit later, and hopefully I just like find my way into an Even Shroud or a Last Whisper. But the idea is that I'm probably going to play Hecarim, and I'm probably going to play around Callista as the secondary, because I'm going to be rolling on level 7. This turn I'm going to level and send it. I'm pretty sure is the best idea. So the reason I'm doing it is because it's a good interval to level on right after neutrals, and because I'm Hecarim paired, I'm just rolling for 1 copy of Hecarim. So I don't really care too much about my gold right now. I just really want to hit this Hecarim 2, and now I'll be stable, right? That's my idea, is like now I have the Hecarim 2, I should be stable for the rest of this stage as well as into the start of the next stage. Whenever you're rolling for 3 cost, the way you should always consider it is you're not trying to hit the 3-star version off rip. You're not trying to instantly just teleport and have a Hecarim 3, right? What you're trying to get is to a point where you have most of your board upgraded. So in this case, I have a Caston 2 because of Stars Are Born. I have a Shen 2. I want to have Jax 2. Ashe 2, and even Ari 2. You want to have everybody upgraded, because the whole benefit of you playing a reroll is that you win a lot of the mid-game fights because you spent the gold to upgrade your units, right? If you're trying to play around a 4 cost or a 5 cost board, then you have to save that money. You can't roll for upgrades, so it's very hard a lot of the time. You're sacrificing HP in order to preserve your money so that you can then upgrade your units later, because you need to level to higher levels to hit those units. Here's the high roll portion of the game. I just found a Callista, so that's just great. GG, I guess. It's just down now. Do I Last Whisper or do I Gwinsu the Callista? I think that the Hecarim is going to be tanky enough with the double Sterix that I think Gwinsu will get a little bit more value. I understand that Sundering is really important, but I think that playing Callista without the Gwinsu is a little bit of a throw. So, you know, I'm hoping that eventually I can just make a Last Whisper with this glove. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Also, I made Hodge early. I know Hand of Justice, Hodge, it's not the greatest item. Usually you would want Bloodthirster because of the shielding and the extra stats that it gives. But in this situation, I just want to make sure that I win these rounds because I am very low HP. I already greeted my items for a lot of the game. I already greeted my components a lot. So I want to make sure that from now on, I'm winning a lot of fights because I want to try and get my HP up. I want to be closer towards the middle in terms of how much HP I have so I can compete with some of these strong boards. There's already 2 guys that were win streaking most of the game. They're going to be very rich, very strong, and they'll probably convert into a much better spot than me. Another thing to understand is that I'm also contested on this line. There is a guy, hopefully I show him. There is a guy here that is multi-striker. Yeah, he is press the attack multi-striker. Now, he is rolling on low level for, He's rolling for Ashe and Jax. So that's why I still took this augment and I said this is an okay spot for me. Because if he's rolling for Ashe and Jax, he will not be able to hold on to HECARIMs because it will be too expensive. So at most, he's maybe going to have 3 HECARIMs. He's not going to have that many. Besides that, the rest of the lobby does not look like they're angling a comp that uses HECARIM. Because the rest of the lobby doesn't look like they're playing around HECARIM, I feel pretty comfortable that I will be able to hit my HECARIM 3 in due time. I am strong enough and stable enough right now to play around this. The only problem is I have this useless Shojin. I don't really want to play Ahri into late game. I'd rather play another frontline unit similar to like this Tahm Kench that I got. So I switch out the Ahri for the Tahm Kench. Shojin doesn't really do much for most of this board. Nobody really wants to use a Shojin. I'm kind of hoping that I can just reforge the Shojin, excuse me. I'm hoping that I can just reforge it into something a little bit better. Here my items are a little bit awkward though. I want to slam an item here because I don't want to accidentally lose a round for greeting my components. So I'm just gonna probably just make I just make QSS on this on my Callista. QSS gives starting attack speed. Is not necessarily the greatest item. It's usually something you put on a frontline unit to make sure they don't get stunned because it's like an anti-stun item. But for me at least, I need to make something. And it gives some attack speed. It gives some crit chance. I'm down to just put it on the Callista. And then I'm holding on to this glove to make a Last Whisper eventually. Here, we're going through the items. I don't think it's dual Q. It's not explosive growth. Pandora's is fine. But Pandora's would fix my items, but I find Heroic Grab Bag. Usually Heroic Grab Bag isn't the greatest thing to take. It's kind of like if you're in a good reroll spot, you shouldn't need to take Heroic Grab Bag. So it's usually like a dead augment. I also have Stars Are Born, which is another dead augment. So, right, because like these are things that you take them to try and like have early game tempo as well as to have like the ability to like hit your units. But if you're trying to cap out your board really high, it's better to have like a combat augment. Because, you know, if you're in a good reroll spot, I'm sure you can see it many times. Like, you don't have to take Heroic Grab Bag to hit your 3 stars. A lot of times you can hit your 3 stars if you're in a good spot anyways. It's not even like a high roll thing to hit the 3 stars. In this case, I'm just scared about my overall placement in the game. I did find the Reforger though, which was nice. So finding the Reforger made it so that I was able to make a Sunfire Cape instead of the Shojin. Pretty much anything was probably better than the Shojin because even AP items, I can put on the Kassadin that I have a couple copies of. But just watch this HECARIM, right? This is a HECARIM 2, by the way. As you can see, this HECARIM 2, this is what I was saying. It's kind of like a knowledge check. I kind of know about this comp already. I'm checking on this guy because if he's holding, how many HECARIMs he's holding, because it's the only guy that I'm really worried about, the other multi-striker player. Nobody else seems to be playing around Bastions, so I feel like I'm okay to hit this HECARIM. It's just this guy. As you can see, he's not holding any extra. He didn't even hit HECARIM 2 yet. We're in an okay spot. But like I said, because I'm a little bit scared just in terms of like, my overall board is a little bit weak because I took Heroic Grab Bag. It makes it so that I'm more likely to hit the HECARIM 3, and that's like my main win con. The Stars Are Born was pretty useless, right? Usually when you take Stars Are Born, it's because you want to have early game tempo. I did not have early game tempo. I lost most of stage 2 and I lost most of stage 3. So I don't have the early game tempo to play around where I have a bunch of HP that I can kind of chill right now and fit in something better. I kind of have to, how do I phrase it? I really have to win these rounds now. So I want to hit this HECARIM as early as possible. That's why I took Heroic Grab Bag. Because I'm not going to have late game combat augment, so it's a little bit scary. I expect to lose against the other rerollers that did hit. So for example, this guy that's pressed the attack with the Ashe, I expect to lose this round. But basically, I'm hoping that with these duplicators, I can just play around HECARIM 3. And once I have HECARIM 3, I should be strong. This guy, it was also very close, by the way. Look, I'm down to his Ashe, and his Ashe has pretty much like best in slot items almost. And we're almost able to beat him. But yeah, if we were in a better spot, I would say, like, let's say we had more money. Also, fighting the HECARIM, remember that one turn I rolled to like 20 gold to find the HECARIM upgrade. We're a little bit behind the lobby in terms of tempo. Just in terms of like late game scaling, in terms of our augments being pretty bad because we took 2 rolling augments that basically are doing nothing for most of the game. And right now we have a board of basically nobody, right? This is a 1-star, this is a 1-star. These are upgraded, but who the fuck cares? And the HECARIM is my only unit because I just know about HECARIM being broken. So I'm just kind of like abusing the fact that like maybe people don't know about this line or that I got Unleash the Beast Sterex. But this is what I mean to say by this is a very strong way to play the comp. Now I'm 1 off HECARIM, so I'm just going to send it this turn and hopefully I can hit. So yeah, I hit. I found the last HECARIM. I have 2 duplicators. I'm not going to use them on anybody else. I literally took them just to hit this HECARIM early. And this is what I was aiming for, right? I want to hit the HECARIM not towards the end of stage 5. Usually when you're going for a 3-star, you usually go towards like end of stage 4, beginning of stage 5, or even mid stage 5. You still don't have your 3 stars. I just want to get my placements and guarantee my top 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chill. And I'm going to level for Vertical Arcana. So that's all that I really want to do. I just want to level for Arcana. Now on this roll down, by the way, I'm going to go back so we can laugh at me. I want everybody to just prepare to laugh. You probably already saw it, but I'm going to point it out right now. On this roll down, I'm pretty sure I skipped Camille, which is so fucking bad, by the way. I was on stream, I was beating myself up over it. Right there, boom. Do you see I didn't buy Camille? Camille is so fucking important. It's not words to describe. 7 multi-striker is so much more important than anything else. Like, I know I'm putting in Arcana. This Tahm Kench is shit compared to a Camille. Camille is so... I want to stress that out very, very deeply. 7 multi-striker is so important to the multi-striker comp. So me missing that Camille definitely cost me placements here. Right? And I was just too stressed. It was the first game back. I said there would be mistakes. Laugh at me all you want. I don't care. I do not care. I know that I made a mistake, and I'll admit to my mistakes. I admitted to my mistakes. I missed the Camille. That's my bad. Anyways. It's fine. We'll see how it works out later, but it probably won't work out, so that's my bad. There's another really bad mistake I make in this game. Funny enough, there's another one that's coming up, so be prepared. But anyways, I just want to push levels now. Level 8, maybe hit the Callista 2. Or I want to level in order to play an extra Arcana unit, this Xerath for example, get more durability, get more attack damage, and make this HECARIM go absolutely crazy. But either way, long story short, having HECARIM 3 here, this is just playing it in a consistent way. I just wanted to make sure that I had him. I am almost certain that I cannot place worse than 4th right now, barring any extreme circumstances in the lobby. Most people will not be able to deal with this HECARIM just because of how fucking strong it is with Unleash the Beast. If you watch the HECARIM, you'll see they won't even get close. He didn't even like, as soon as he procs Unleash the Beast, he just runs around and kills everybody. It is fucking insane. Look at that. Anyways, this guy was strong. I didn't beat him, but he has Karma too. So, you know, I only have 1 unit carry, but it was close, right? This guy is very strong, by the way. But we'll see. I'm pretty confident. Like, if you can hit that HECARIM 3, the biggest problem is hitting it, right? If you don't hit that HECARIM 3, that's the bigger issue. Obviously, I messed up. I could have easily faded 7 multi-striker here, right? Because then all I have to do is I have to level, and I just keep in this. I lose Arcana, and I just play 7 multi-striker, and then I'll play Arcana later. But for the time being, I'm kind of just screwed because I made a mistake. And that's my bad. Next mistake is coming up right here. I'll point it out as soon as it happens. But we'll see here. So, I forgot about the new changes they made. So, see, I see a bow, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I can make, like, Last Whisper. That's what my hope is. I don't see a Last Whisper here. So, I decide to say, okay, I'll just make a frontline item for Shen. I'll make a double Gwinsu on the Callista. And as you can see, I slammed this component, and it says gain a frying pan. My bad. I forgot about frying pans. Frying pan is an addition to the set. I forgot about frying pans because of my first game back. I know they added, but I forgot that you can just get a frying pan. This was in my shop. I didn't notice it. So the other mistake that I made is making this Gwinsu. I could have made a multi-striker +1 with a bow. Right? If you look at it, you can make a multi-striker +1. So remember I was saying that 7 multi-striker is really fucking important? Well, guess what? I just had an opportunity to hit 7 multi-striker. I had 2 chances this game to make my board significantly stronger than it is and maybe get a first. Instead, I'm obviously, like, you know, I'm not going to spoil it too hard, but I don't think I'm going first this game. But all the same, you know, I really botched that, right? That was 2 consecutive misplays, and that's why you really have to be vigilant on your board state and everything else, right? I didn't have to slam my item there, right? I could have waited until, like, you know, neutral, I roll for a charm. You always want to give yourself, like, at least 1 turn of leeway with a lot of these things. I think I was just too stressed. I'm just trying my best to win out. I'm trying my best to, like, you know, hit my board and be strong. these two mistakes are really bad. 7 multi-striker is very, very important in this comp. I want you to understand, whenever you're playing multi-striker, 7 multi-striker is very important. It not only gives everybody a higher chance of the auto attacks, which is the first thing, it also gives healing. Right? They heal based on their attacks. So it makes your board significantly more stable. The biggest problem with multi-strikers, if you look at them, there's not that many frontline units besides like HECARIM and Shen. A lot of the other units are just like melee units that attack. So having passive healing on them is very, very important to actually cap out the board. So you want to make sure that you fit in 7 multi-striker as early as possible. Anyways, that I'm just going to jump around and kill everybody. So I'm still strong, right? I'm still going to be stable. What I'm saying is that I'm losing my opportunity to play for first because I didn't quite recognize certain things, right? Missing the Camille was egregious. That was very, very bad. And then the spat wasn't as bad because it cost a lot of gold, but it was a mistake nonetheless. I could have easily have gotten that unit, and I could have easily have gotten that extra frying pan and make the uncraftable. I don't know what you call it now, because I'm used to calling them uncraftable spats, but now they're very craftable, so it's a little bit difficult. Here I just leveled for an extra Arcana. I don't think I'm playing 7 multi-striker anytime soon because I have Tahm Kench too. So even though 7 multi-striker, like I said, is very important, I don't think I'm going to sell the Tahm Kench anytime soon to fit in 7 multi-striker. And I don't think I'm going to lose the Shen, which gives me Bastion either. So I'm just kind of chilling right now with 5 multi-striker for much of the game. And that was because of the other 2 mistakes that I made. Obviously, if I reacted to those things ahead of time, I would be 7 multi-striker already, which is definitely a stronger board. But I'm not going to hold on to the Akali and sacrifice rounds for no reason. I just want to make sure that I win it. As you can see, the lobby is very close. I'm 36 HP. This guy is very fucking strong, and he will probably beat me. And everybody else is very close in HP. I take 1 bad loss. I can easily go bot 4 here. That's why I pushed level to 8 here. I know that I could have waited with my gold. I could have waited a couple turns. It's like, no, I just want to put in Arcana. I want to get a move on. I want to make sure that my board is stable. And it's just a general play style. And a lot of these decisions come from the fact that during this I was streaming, and I also recognized that I made mistakes while I was streaming. I was saying, wow, I played really bad. I missed Camille. I missed the other things. It's not a matter of like getting in your own head. It's more a matter of, okay, if I'm playing bad and I recognize myself making mistakes, how many mistakes do I not recognize that I'm making? Let me just make sure that I play this in the most consistent way possible to make this very, very chill, right? That's like my thought process. I'm like, let me just guarantee a top 4. Let me not overgreed. Let me just push level, play the extra Arcana unit, make my board spike in power, and that's it. The same with the HECARIM, right? Let me just get the duplicators. Let me hit the HECARIM 3. Let me relax. Let me do it, right? It's like when you recognize that you're not playing well, a really important thing to do is to make sure that you mitigate the ways that you can lose. And that's really important in ranking up in TFT. It's really important in climbing in TFT. Just make sure that you're relatively strong. So over here, this is the multi-striker guy. You'll see that my HECARIM is really fucking strong, and my Kalista is outscaling his Ashe because of double Guinsoo. I think if the Ashe casted 1 more time, I lost this fight. This was really, really RNG, and I can't really say anything about that. It's just the way the HECARIM went, killed enough units, and I RNG won a fight that I shouldn't have won, and that almost guarantees my top 4. Because that was one of the guys that was scary. He was somebody that was lower HP that was stronger than me. As you can see as well, I bought this frying pan. I didn't even mention it. I bought the frying pan after because I was like, maybe I can still hit 7 multi-striker. That was even worse mistake. Because I spent 15 gold for a fucking frying pan that I'm not even going to be able to use anytime soon. I don't know. This game was a mess. But HECARIM reroll is very strong, so I still go top 4. You know, whatever it is, it is. But I'll make a little spark notes of all the mistakes I made along the way. For those of you that might only watch certain parts of it. But I thought I would still upload this video because I don't know when I'll get another opportunity to play HECARIM reroll, and I wanted to let everybody know about it as well as like show it off a little bit. Obviously, I knew this would be a messy game. But it is my first game back after a week, and you know, hopefully I can start ranking up. I'm gonna have to play a lot off stream because playing on stream is really hard for me because, you know, you have to know very niche line in my elo right now because everybody's fucking hard forcing some shit, and it's really hard to like recognize everything while streaming. So I'm going to try my best to rank up a bit off stream so that I can give you guys some better quality games. Because I keep saying it, but I should be in Masters by now. In most sets, I'm usually Masters around this point in time. I just haven't been playing that much, and I haven't been having fun, so it's just been a miserable climb. But I should be Masters by now, so I really want to get that real fast, and then the rest of the games will be a little bit more of a refreshing take, where you can see, like, multiple people that are playing at a higher level in the same lobby, and it's a little bit more educational, I think. Anyways, we need to find this Callista too. I find a Last Whisper. This is perfect. That's exactly what I need. I'm going to take this QSS off the Callista, and I will just, you know, do that. The world isn't the best charm I can hit. Obviously, having Xerath, you get access to Xerath's charms, which is really nice. Here I'm rolling deep because there's no way I'm going level 9, and I could die this turn, right? There are many strong boards ahead of me, so I'm just trying to make my board as strong as possible. Double Guinsoo Last Whisper, pretty good on the Callista. My board's pretty stable, pretty strong. It would have been better with 7 multi-striker, don't get me wrong. Also, I shouldn't have bought this fucking frying pan. Like, I don't understand what I did. I bought a frying pan even though I already slammed the component. It's like I'm just hoping that I get a component anvil randomly. It's like, what am I doing? It was such a bad decision. I wasted like 15 gold right there. Anyways, this guy's been winning the whole game. This was the guy that beat me last time with the Karma 2. It's just insanely strong. And then there's another guy with like a Briar 2, right? Even like, obviously, like, my spot wasn't very good. My augments aren't the greatest, right? I played towards this reroll line. I kind of forced into it while another guy was playing multi-striker. So it was a little bit difficult for me to do. But we pretty much secured a top 2 or top 3. It just comes down to if I fight Clone here or not. But it's probably going to be a 3rd. I don't think I beat this guy because he has a Briar with triple items. I don't even think it's not even a Briar 2. It's just a Briar 1. But he's just very strong. Like, his board looks like it's the Varus board with like the 6 shapeshifters, so it looks like it'll be hard for me to chew through, right? The thing about HECARIM is that HECARIM has to get a kill now. When you're facing boards like this where it's hard to chew through the units, what if the HECARIM doesn't get a kill early? My HECARIM's not gonna pop off, right? Remember, HECARIM's passive is that he does the whole dash and an extra attack if he kills a unit. So look, it took me that long for my HECARIM to get the first kill, and now I have to wait again for another kill. As you can see, my HECARIM's probably going to die before he gets the second kill. So it's just a bad matchup, right? You just need more damage. You need more damage on the board to help out the HECARIM. But like I said, it's very feast or famine. This is going to be a very hard matchup for me. I fought Real, I didn't fight Clone, so I just end up 3rd. All in all, not one of my prettiest games. I am not very happy with this game. I made lots of mistakes that are not even like little mistakes, like, oh, you know, if I did this a little bit differently, if I positioned here, it would be a little bit better. It's like, no, I like literally fucking missed a Camille on a roll down when I'm playing multi-striker. You know what I mean? Like, I missed the one unit you don't miss, right? I missed the 5 cost. It's not like I missed like, ooh, I rolled down, I missed a HECARIM. It's like, no, I missed the 5 cost. I missed the golden unit. That was pretty fucking bad. And then I missed on the spat, and then I still bought the spat after. Like, as if, like, magically I was gonna get dropped a bow. It was like, what? But anyways, hopefully it was still enjoyable. Hopefully it was still a fun game. Hopefully it was educational in some way that you can try out HECARIM reroll. Obviously, just don't do the mistakes I made. You know, put Camille in the team planner so you don't accidentally miss her on the roll down. But yeah, I was just so tunnel vision on hitting HECARIM 3. I didn't even consider that I would have seen a Camille. And obviously, always play 7 multi-striker. This board is way stronger with 7 multi-striker. I think you can play 7 multi-striker and then go fast to 9 and then play the extra Arcana units. And I think that would cap you out a lot higher. Obviously, I don't think I ever beat this guy, but if I had 7 multi-striker, I probably would have beat this guy and gone second, even in this spot where it was like kind of low roll, kind of high roll. There was a good potential for me to cap out really high. But a lot of this was on the back burner of Sterix HECARIM being so strong, and here I was able to even make double Sterix, which is even better. If you have Sterix, Unleash the Beast. Always play towards HECARIM, or try to play towards HECARIM if you see it. And if you get HECARIM 3, I guarantee you it'll be like one of the easiest top 4s of your life. It's very, very strong. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a good first day of patch. My first day of the patch was pretty miserable. I was very upset on stream. My games ended with some guy target griefing me. So, you know, I don't know if I'm going to play too much of this patch because I'm already not enjoying it as of today. But if you want to catch me live, you can also try and catch me live. And hopefully if the games go well, I'll be in a better mood. And yeah, all of that is all good. And see you around and have fun with the new patch, hopefully.